My name is Richard Coleman. I'm 72 years old. A retired construction contractor from Ohio. A man who spent his entire life building homes for other families while trying to keep my own together. But the day I realized my son and his wife were plotting behind my back, treating me as if I was some clueless old man drifting toward the end, was the day I understood that sometimes the people you sacrifice everything for can be the first to betray you, and sometimes you must become the man you once were to protect yourself. For decades, I lived by simple values. Work hard, stay honest, raise your kids right, give them a better life than the one you had. I thought I had done that. My son Michael was my pride. The boy who used to ride on my shoulders, who helped me fix fences, who cried on my chest when he broke his arm, who once swore he'd take care of me when I'm old. But years have a way of changing people, especially when comfort meets greed. When he married his wife, Stephanie, I welcomed her with love, but she looked at me like I was outdated technology, something to replace, not respect. At first it was small things. She accidentally threw away my mail. She told friends I repeated stories too much. She introduced me to guests as Michael's dad. He gets confused sometimes, even though my mind was sharp as ever. But then things shifted from disrespect to control. She insisted on handling my medications, though I never asked. She questioned my spending, although it was my money. She told people I needed supervision, and Michael, blinded by her influence, repeated her claims without thinking. I noticed my bank notifications stopped appearing. My health insurance was accidentally switched to a plan I never signed for. My doctor appointments were canceled without me knowing. They claimed they were helping, but I've lived long enough to know when someone is setting the stage for something bigger. One night, I overheard them whispering in the kitchen. They thought I was asleep. Stephanie told Michael that the sooner Dad signs over the property, the sooner we can renovate and rent out the place for extra income. My home? The home I built with my own two hands. The home where my late wife, Margaret, painted the nursery for our kids. They even discussed sending me to an assisted living facility, because apparently it's what families do now. I felt my chest tighten, not from age, from heartbreak. My own son wanted to push me out of my life to make his easier. But I didn't confront them. No, I learned long ago that a storm doesn't warn the village before it arrives. It just hits, and hits hard. So I played along. For months I let them think I was slow, tired, distracted. I pretended to forget appointments. I acted confused when Stephanie helped me organize documents she planned to steal. But behind that act, I quietly met with my lawyer, updated my will, and placed all my assets, my home, savings, and pension, into a protected family trust that neither of them could touch. The beneficiaries? My grandkids? Not Michael. Not Stephanie. I also installed discrete security cameras in my home, the kind you can't detect, because I knew if they were bold enough to plot, they might be bold enough to do worse. The breaking point came one Saturday morning. They sat across from me at the dining table, fake compassion dripping off their faces, presenting me with a stack of papers they wanted me to sign. "It's just to make things easier for all of us, Dad," Michael said. Stephanie nodded with that manipulative smile she uses when she thinks she's the smartest in the room. I asked them calmly what the papers were for. They claimed it was for medical authorization. In reality, the documents would grant them full control over my property, finances, and personal decisions. I pretended to read them slowly, my hands shaking slightly, not from fear but from acting. I asked for a pen. They both leaned in, eager, their eyes glistening with greed. But instead of signing, I opened the drawer beside me, pulled out a thick, sealed envelope, and placed it gently on the table. "What's this?" Stephanie asked, annoyed. "A little something I prepared," I said. Then the front door opened. My lawyer, Mr. Reynolds, stepped in, tall, composed, carrying his leather briefcase like a judge entering a courtroom. Michael froze. Stephanie's jaw tightened. "What is he doing here?" She snapped. Mr. Reynolds sat down, opened the envelope, and spread out photographs. Printed emails, bank records, camera footage stills, screenshots of text messages, and legal documents across the table like a bomb exploding in slow motion. He read aloud. Every attempt they made to access my accounts. Every sensitive document they moved without permission. Every lie they told doctors, every manipulation they attempted. Every recording of them discussing how to get me out. And then, the final blow, the protective trust documents. Their plan was over before it even started. Stephanie tried to talk her way out of it, but Mr. Reynolds cut her off each time, reading their own words from the transcripts. Michael paled, his hands shaking as he realized he wasn't just losing access to my estate. He was being legally removed from any authority over me. Then came the part that hit him hardest. Per the updated trust, effective immediately, Mr. Coleman's assets are protected, and neither you nor your wife have any legal claim to them. Future communication regarding his estate will involve his grandchildren only. My son's voice cracked. Dad, why? We were just trying to take what wasn't yours, I said quietly. Trying to put me away so you could live off my life's work. You thought age made me blind? It didn't, it only made me patient. Stephanie slammed her hand on the table and started yelling about how she deserved the house, how she put up with me, how I was old and ungrateful. My lawyer recorded everything. Her meltdown only strengthened my case. I stood slowly, not because of age, but because I wanted every word to land like a hammer. This house, everything inside it, every dollar I ever earned, was built with sacrifice, sweat, and love. Not greed. Not manipulation. You wanted to bury me before I was even gone. Well, I'm still here. And I'm not done living yet. Then I dropped the final surprise. I told him I had already purchased a new apartment in a senior community, not because I needed to, but because I wanted peace, freedom, and dignity. A place where no one would control me again. A place they didn't know existed. I packed my bags that evening while they whispered angrily in the living room. When I walked out the door with my suitcase, Michael tried to hug me. I didn't let him. Not because I didn't love him, but because love without respect is just memory, not reality. As I drove away, the sun setting behind me, I felt lighter than I had in years. Not because I escaped them, but because I reclaimed myself. They thought I was too old to fight back. They forgot I was the man who taught them how to fight.